What's going on, wrestling fans? Tony Mango here, welcoming you to another edition of the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach portion of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast for the week. And we're going to start things off the way that we normally do here with the fan-submitted comment of the week, otherwise known as Smark My Words. And the winner this time around is another one from Guest 5. Been really hitting a lot of them out of the park lately. So the context for this one was in our Mega Maniacs group. We had a little bit of a chat going on, and Kaylin had put out a little Simpsons joke of the "at least you tried" cake, which Wago, being Wago, he was just kind of telling everybody to shut up around that time. Said, "Shut up, Meg, that works better for you because you have a girl's name," reference to how we always make fun of Kaylin for his name and stuff. And Guest 5 took it a step further with, "Since when was Brian a girl's name?" which, of course, a reference to when Miguel, for some reason, referred to Kaylin as Brian, some kind of a brain fart in his head or something, I don't know. But that, of course, made me crack up when I was seeing that. So, congrats to Guest 5 for that. And big thanks, of course, to everybody else who left comments all over the place on our YouTube page, our Twitter account, and so on and so forth, including that aforementioned group on Facebook. And you can find that at facebook.com/groups/themegamaniacs. That's where we do our live chats for Raw and SmackDown and other things like that. And it's also where we just post random things throughout the week. So if you are on Facebook and you're not in that group, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and sign up. Next week is going to be the April mailbag special. So if you have any questions, either wrestling related or not, that you want to pick our brains about, go ahead and send in them by tweeting at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or leaving an email through the contact form of the website. And whatever you send our way, we will try to answer it. If you want Smark Out Moment to grow even more in the future and you want to lend a hand in some way, there's a couple things that you should be aware of. For monetary donations, you can do that with the PayPal button at the bottom of smarkoutmoment.com, the YouTube's fan funding module, or our Patreon account. You can also buy some t-shirts, mugs, and now stickers among the other merchandise over at our Redbubble and our TeePublic shops. And we have 2 extra shops on TeePublic as well for Fanboys Anonymous related geek culture things, and another one for Mango Tees, where you'll find shirts like New Shirt, Who Dis, and just generic kind of things like that aren't wrestling or geek culture specific. But all that money goes to the same thing because it's all going to me, and I'm putting my money into this kind of stuff, so it makes sense, right? And you can also help spread the word about the website in a couple different ways, such as the Sign Me Up initiative. And for that, all you got to do is take a sign that says Smark Out Moment to a wrestling show. And if you take a picture of yourself holding it up and send it my way, I'll give you a little bit of a shout out on the website. And the most important thing of all is if you help us grow our social media audience by doing things like liking and sharing our posts on Facebook, retweeting and following us on Twitter, giving the YouTube videos a thumbs up, leaving your comments as well to keep the discussion going. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do that. And of course, you can also share the website's articles and the videos and everything else on places like Reddit and on message boards and all other places on the internet. And anything that you guys do to get our name out there is not only greatly appreciated, but also greatly helps out quite a bit. So the same thing applies to Fanboys Anonymous, and if you don't know what that is, it's my sister website for movie reviews and nerdy topics about superheroes and stuff like that. So if you want to geek out with me on that kind of stuff, head on over to fanboysanonymous.com, subscribe to that YouTube channel, follow the Facebook and Twitter accounts, and so on and so forth. And that brings us to the major topic of the video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him. Last week's question was about The Undertaker's first opponent in WWE, because he had just retired, R.I.P. Taker, and mostly everybody's going with the Survivor Series 1990 team. Bobby Lesnar G86 put that out there, Peter Piccinini as well, and Guest 5 throws out Taker's first opponent in WWE was his costume designer. Damn, his first outfit was ridiculous. Actually, his first match is not the one at Survivor Series. They taped an edition of Superstars on November 19th, 1990, which is one day before the Survivor Series debut, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe it's 2 days, but I'm pretty sure it's one. And his first opponent was Mario Mancini. I have no idea who the hell that guy is. I have never heard that name before, even when doing research on The Undertaker. But yeah, he fought Mario Mancini on an edition of Superstars before he had come out for Survivor Series. So technically that is his first opponent in WWE. Oddly enough. Isn't that weird? So that brings us to this week's question. And I was going to go with something about the first opponent for Simon Gotch, and it was just like, who really gives a shit? And then I was going to go with something about Mauro Ranallo, and I couldn't find shit that was interesting about him. So instead, I'm going to do something draft related, because we have the Superstar Shakeup that just happened, and essentially that was basically a draft, even though it's, a draft in without the name and everything like that. So going kind of on the same parallel as the first opponent for Undertaker and whatever like that, who were the first draft picks for Raw and SmackDown during the inaugural WWE Draft? I'll even give you a hint. Happened in 2002. So it's been that long since we've had a brand split, and then no brand split, and then the brand split happen again. If you think you know who those two people were, bonus points if you know which side they went to as well, because obviously one for SmackDown, one for Raw. Then drop your comments below. Maybe if you even don't have a clue and you just want to throw a guess out there, or you want to say something else, say that as well. But that's going to do us in for this week's edition of the IWC Outreach. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and to stay tuned for everything else coming your way, because later on we are going to be having our breakdown of the Superstar Shakeup, reviewing all the different trades from Raw and from SmackDown, trying to give our perspective of the things we're excited about, what the problems might have been that could be an issue in the future based off of their trades, missed opportunities, and all sorts of things like that. So stay tuned for that coming up later on this week. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and I'm being counted out.